Oh baby, we're back. Hello, can we get a like in the? Can we get some like and a sub and ring the bell, baby? We're recording. Let's go. Anyways, Crossbow fans, you can finally relax. Your time is finally here. Actually, really, our time is finally here because I am one of you. I love the crossbow. I just can't admit that it's the strongest weapon in the game. Okay, enough of that bullshit. This weapon has gone through quite literally 3, 4, maybe even 5 reworks since we first saw it in the beta. And I'm liking where it stands now. It's one of the most unique weapons in the game because of that permanent arc shot, that 7 projectile wide spread, and it definitely has its advantage if it's used properly. Naturally, it also has a lot of disadvantages. If you watch this build guide, you'll be feeling pretty good with it. Trust me. Just trust me. Come on, trust me. Anyways, like the video, subscribe so you don't miss out on any future build guides, dev updates, challenge videos, anything related to Crab Champions. Let's get into it. First things first, we need to understand the fundamentals of this weapon. I've already beaten the dead horse. It fires arc shot, 7 projectiles, each of them 50 damage and only about 3 per second. So in theory, if you hit every single projectile, all 21 of them, you're gonna get the highest damage per second in the game of 1150. That's mind-bogglingly high. Here's the thing though. Are you ever hugging enemies like that? Maybe the King's Skull from time to time in those boss fights, but for the most part, you're only hitting 1, 2, maybe 3 of those projectiles on a single enemy. Obviously, if you shoot into a horde, you'll probably hit all 7, but it's across different enemies. So, it's a bit of a give and take here. But, like I said, we'll be able to utilize that spread quite nicely here with this build, so let's get into it. Off rip, the fire rate is abysmal in my opinion. We're going to want to get that up. So, find fire rate increasing weapon mods. I'm a huge fan of Juiced. Seems like the community as a whole loves Juiced. It is a 20% buff to fire rate, damage, and reload speed. All 3 of them. I don't understand how this weapon mod is still in the game and as OP as it is, but hey, I'm not going to complain. Even if it was down to 15%, I would still love this thing. Now, more fire rate will deplete that magazine pretty quickly too, and you're going to have more reloading. We're going to want to negate that. Something like Ghost Ammo or Efficiency, some of my favorites, even All You Can Eat, or go with the magazine increasing size, you know? Go that direction. Get Big Mag a few times. Whatever you want to do, you don't want to be constantly reloading, so get that taken care of in addition to the fire rate buffs. Next, we really want to focus on increasing the damage per projectile. I said 50 per projectile. That's a good starting point, but due to the low fire rate, even when you get it speedier, it's not that great. So find Sharp Shot, Damage Shot, even the weird or crazier ones, Spiral, Zigzag, Snake, Chaotic. Look, you're not going for accuracy here. You're firing into crowds, into people who are in front of you. You're going close, medium range. Those are fine. Just get them. Do it. I also absolutely love the Aura Shot, Glue Shot combo here with the Crossy. It just ends up covering such a massive amount of volume in the map, especially if you get like something like Big Shot, makes the auras even larger. You're gonna hit something with one of those 7 projectiles at some point. Like, you've got to be truly awful at gaming, period, to miss shots if you're rocking Aura Shot with the crossbow. And of course, if you can find the best item in the game, then take it. Homing Shot. Remember, 7 projectiles, highest damage per second in the game if you hit all of your shots, but you're not going to unless you have Homing Shot. Get that leveled up a few times, get up to 100% accuracy, 100% proc chance, and Jesus Christ, this weapon is insane. Things to avoid. Been loving doing this little segment, and obviously Arc Shot. It's already Arc Shot. Don't pick up Arc Shot. It quite literally does nothing with this weapon. Like it literally does nothing. You might as well not have it. It is already permanently Arc Shot. Don't pick up Arc Shot. You are already Arc Shotting. Do not waste your time. Do not waste your crystals. Do not waste your inventory space. Another one, obviously if we're increasing our fire rate, we don't want to reduce that. Like, we don't want things fighting against each other. So Heavy Hitter, probably not a good idea. It's a small damage boost for a decrease in our fire rate. Let me check if it's actually a small damage boost. It is 100% damage boost, so it is pretty high. It really depends here. I still say avoid it, but I guess if your fire rate is already crazy high, then a little bit of reduction won't kill you. But in general, I think you want to avoid that. Now, I know I've said permanent arc shot a few times already in this video here, and that's not really true. There are a few weapon mods of the epic and legendary rarity that will change that, like triple shot or X shot. Those will fire 3 or 5 in an X pattern. you are going to lose some projectiles here, right? 3 is less than 7, and 5, you guessed it, also less than 7. But you're going to get that accuracy. Those spreads are very tight and centered, so you won't be destroying hordes as much as you were with the arc, but you are going to be inflicting more damage more consistently on those strong elite and boss enemies. So something to think about here. It is a different direction to take this weapon if you want to, but it is there. And another one that changes the projectile orientation is square shot. And square shot kind of leads you to believe that it would be a 2x2 square, 4 projectiles, but it's actually a 3x3 square. That's 9 projectiles, and that is more than 7, right? So that's truly one of the best items you can get for this weapon. You're still producing a ton of damage, and it's tighter, so you can take out those stronger enemies. And while you can change your projectiles, with things like the triple shot, the X shot, the square shot, something like grip tape, which on a normal weapon brings your spread in and makes it less recoil. You would think that, hey, maybe that works on the crossbow, but it does not. It doesn't really affect anything. It'll affect, like, if you have chaotic shot, it'll make chaos, or it'll make the chaotic shots less chaotic, sure. But as far as like taking that 7 wide spread and tightening it up, does not do that. So that's another one that you probably want to avoid. And as always, don't neglect your health or economy here. Going with a perfect RNGesus glass cannon god tier build is a ballsy strategy. Most people can't pull it off, and most people don't get that lucky. So unless you have perfect movement, perfect island memorization, and are RNGesus reincarnated, you're probably going to want to have a little bit of extra health and a little bit of additional crystals to be able to purchase things that you need in the shop. I cannot stress this enough. It was one of my tips in the original 5 tips and tricks video, and it's something I make a point to mention in every single build guide. You cannot neglect economy, and obviously you can't neglect your health. Alright, there we have it. A nice, simple, but effective crossbow build with a couple options here and there, depending on if you're really a fan of the arc shot or if you want to tighten that up. If you liked the video, go ahead, scroll down a little bit, like the video. See that subscription button? Click it and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future build guides, dev update coverage, and crazy challenge runs. We only have one weapon left in this build guide series. Then we're moving on to melees, grenades, and bigger, broader topics into the future. So please stick around, and hopefully I see you there. Have a good one.